The Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. And I kid you not, 6 minutes ago, I get the update. 6 minutes ago, I get the update. Never did I think that I would open a radio show, maybe in my life in general. It's probably like a general statement that I did not believe that I would open a radio program ever. Almost like a childhood dream. And today I do it with this news live from the AP. U.S. and Israel and Iran agree to a 2-week ceasefire. Deadline met. Whew, we can breathe for a second. That's where I'll start with the news today. We are going to talk sports, almost exclusively sports, but breaking news in the world realm. Day 39 of the Middle East conflict and a 2-week ceasefire is agreed upon. Yes. Woohoo! All right. That's semi-good news, right? It's better news than where we're going to start today on the Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. I am Drake Toll with you from the Savannah Bananas organization, Locked On Big 12, Amazon Fire TV's college football kickoff. I once worked for an outlet called Natural State Sports. I wrote about Arkansas high school women's basketball. Pretty good, man. It's good state for it. Today, Addie Bates produces. Laura Jimenez runs the board. And today there is scandal afoot in the National Football League. Now, we're going to talk about last night in Major League Baseball, this brawl between the Braves and the Angels, and we're all throwing punches. We're going to talk about how remember the Mariners, who were supposed to win the AL, are 4-8. Now, it's not May 1st, so we cannot press the red button of doom. The Blue Jays, 4-7, another loss to the Dodgers. Pitching does its job. Bats go completely quiet. We'll get there. We will talk about how the association is very close to a postseason that has a Lakers fall apart. 123-87 the final last night. L.A. at home losing to the Thunder. Oklahoma City looks as good as it gets. San Antonio dealing with Victor Wembanyama's rib scare. Is this just going to be, with Cade Cunningham's collapsed lung, is it going to be Oklahoma City walking to another NBA title, going back-to-back? That's a possibility. We'll get there. Michael Malone is the new head coach of the UNC Tar Heels, and his contract's massive. I personally think it's way too much. And I believe that UNC has overreached for a guy who hasn't coached college basketball in 25 years and he's not even part of the UNC way or whatever they call it. But they brought him in. And Malone now sees himself in a special opportunity. Gino Auriemma releases a statement yesterday. I've apologized to Don Staley. Worse than anything, I've lost myself. I apologize to my team. I just want to get back to talking about women's basketball and promoting the sport. We'll get there. We'll get to it. But there is scandal afoot. I told you yesterday, and if you listen every day to the Drake Toll Show, if you get in your car somewhere around Waxahachie, Texas, you get in your car, you go to the gym, the Drake Toll Show is on. You thought, yesterday that guy talked about oddity being a oddity and conflict being the two news values that we latch onto as society. We love when things go wrong. We love war. We love car wrecks. We love the Titanic because people died and the thing sunk. If the Titanic had gone well, you wouldn't know about it. Name any other cruise line from the 1910s. If the Edmund Fitzgerald had not sunk, you would have no reason to know about the Edmund Fitzgerald. But you do, because it's conflict, because it's oddity, because it's something that it hits the back of your brain and you say, I want to pay attention to that. I want to know more. And see, that's what's happening to people. It's what I thought happened to me yesterday with this deep fake AI stuff. Follow me. It's estimated today. Did you know this? Here's when you walk to your office today. When you bike to your office, you drive to your office. You sit with the big table in the middle, and your buddy's like, "Hey, dog, you see this? One U.S. soldier rescued 40,000 cats. Yep, inner city Detroit. Isn't that cool? And then the other coworker from behind him's like, hey, did you see this? Yeah, man. Here's a World War II veteran who turned 100 years old. He's holding his birthday cake, but no one showed up to his birthday party. I just shared it on Facebook 3 times. Hey. You catch this one? Benson Boone, the guy with the mustache. You beautiful. See what he did? He adopted a grandma. She was going to die. And she's not going to die anymore. 71% of all social media images were AI generated in 2025. That's your stat. 71%. That guy didn't rescue 40,000 cats. That 100-year-old veteran doesn't exist. Benson Boone doesn't have time to adopt a grandma. These AI memes have gone too far. And I thought they'd gone too far yesterday in my world. I thought that I, as the ripe 25-year-old, had fallen for it. 90% of total content across Facebook and Instagram will be AI generated by the end of this year, from 71% to 90%. Did some research on this. Nature photography, handmade crafts, religious artwork. You know what I'm getting a lot recently is, hey, come with me. I'm going to make pancakes with 10,000 eggs. And the AI slop generates 10,000 eggs into 10,000 AI-generated fake pancakes. And then I saw yesterday on my Facebook, I logged onto the app, and damn it, this AI stuff is back at it. They done got my boy, Mike Vrabel, holding hands and getting comfy with Dianna Russini, the NFL reporter. Like, here we go again. The AI slop strikes again. Except for, hold on, wait a second. It's Russini. She works for The Athletic. It is Mike Vrabel. Whoa. Now we've got real news outlets reporting on this. Hold on. Yeah, okay, hold on. I'm reading here for the first time. Turns out that per E! News, Fox News, NBC Sports, page 6, New England Patriots Mike Vrabel and top New York Times NFL reporter Dianna Russini hold hands and hug at luxury hotel. Oh, it's real. It's not AI. That's not good. It's what's being dubbed the Sedona scandal. April 7th, year of our Lord, 2026. Page 6 released exclusive photos showing New England Patriots head coach Mike Vrabel and the Athletic's senior NFL insider Dianna Russini in a series of intimate-looking interactions at a luxury resort in Arizona. Sedona, Arizona. Hence the Sedona scandal. Now, these pictures, these photographs, one of them is Vrabel, shirtless, as people do next to the pool. This is what happens at the pool. Russini, also shirtless, swimsuit at the pool. Again, people do this. They're sitting in those little floaty chairs. You know, those the chairs on the edge of the pool that are only covered by an inch of water, and you sit down in them, and you listen to the fountain, and you watch the kids play. But then there's another picture, and it's Vrabel in a collared shirt. It's like a size too small. And Russini, who's like a foot shorter than him, like longingly in front of him, and they're holding both hands. He's got his hand on hers, and she's got her hand on his, and they're just two hands out, holding hands, looking at each other's eyes. Like, I don't usually do this with radio reporters. I don't usually do this with news anchors. I'm not like I just because they work in your industry or around you. I'm not sure if I've ever been to Sedona with these people to hold their hands, and not just like a handshake, but to grab both of their hands and look at them. There's a picture of them hugging, and everyone's got questions. Here's a picture. I'm looking through all the. Here's one of them in the hot tub together. People have questions because here's the thing: Vrabel married, Russini married, marriage, and this Sedona scandal. It says witnesses saw the pair holding hands, hugging, sharing breakfast, even dancing on a private rooftop bungalow. photos of them in the hot tub together. Now, Vrabel and Russini have issued firm denials. Shocking, I know. They didn't come out and say, hey, yeah, we're getting it on. God, yeah, you guys caught us. No. They denied this. Both of them, staunchly. And they denied it as if you are the idiot. Vrabel called the rumors laughable and innocent. Laughable. Stupid. You all are the dumbest boys alive. Oh, you saw me holding hands with a pretty lady? Oh, you saw me sitting in a hot tub with a pretty lady? Eating breakfast with a pretty lady? Hugging a pretty lady at the Ambient Resort in Sedona, Arizona? Yeah, well, that's laughable. This was innocent. I take all my friends to Sedona who are NFL reporters. I hug them and I hold their hands and I hot tub with them. Happens all of the time. Russini stated she was part of a group of 6 people. The photos lack the context of other people being at the retreat. We weren't the only ones holding hands and hugging. Come on, guys. Page 6, the one that got on top of this, noted eyewitnesses at the resort claimed they saw the duo alone throughout the day. Never saw the group of 6 that was mentioned by Russini in defense. I mean, surely there were 6 people at the resort, and maybe Russini knew them. Maybe she is telling the truth. But the eyewitnesses sure didn't see anybody. So, but what's going on here, huh? We got high-profile marriages. We got Jen Vrabel. I remember Jen. Remember the Patriots went to the Super Bowl. I saw Jen. Tyler, Carter, they're power couple. The NFL, they know Jen and Mike as a power couple. They've been married since 1999. They were married during his entire tenure with New England. Married during his playing tenure. They were married. Married through his entire tenure with the Titans as the head coach. Now with New England going to the Super Bowl. There's Jen. And 25th anniversary. Went to Italy, 2024. She's a staple. She was a staple when he was with the Steelers, too. Dianna Russini, he's 50, Vrabel. Dianna Russini, 43 years old. She's doing all right. Married to Kevin Goldschmidt, vice president, Shake Shack. Married in 2020. Their ceremony on Zoom. Funny, Dianna Russini, funny. And then they have their 2 sons. Michael, born in 2021, and Joseph, born in 2022. That put their kids around the ages of 4 and 5. And she, if you follow her on Instagram, by the way, she shares a lot of, this is my life lately. Here's my husband. Here's my kids. But now we're talking about an ethics conversation. We have a premier journalist, someone whose job relies on access, objectivity. And we have the premier journalist who has the optics now of this senior insider being intimately photographed with a head coach who she covers. Oh. And The Athletic, they issued a statement last night. This all blew up in the middle, not the middle of the night, but into the late evening yesterday. And Vrabel, by the way, this Patriot way, built on discipline, avoiding off-the-field distractions. We don't need any more Stephon Diggs. Get him out of here. But now you're the distraction. And in a debunked claim circulated on Twitter, this was like the funny piece of last night. People kept quoting with is that Kay Adams? Mike Vrabel with Kay Adams? That has been debunked. That claim that Vrabel mistook Dianna for Kay Adams is false. But the story's trending. It's kind of part of this AI thing. That's why I thought this was slop. And in the NFL, look, the information is currency. And if other coaches believe that Russini has a special friend in Mike Vrabel, are you less likely to trust that senior insider? Yeah. If I'm a coach, if I'm a source, if I'm somebody who calls Dianna Russini and says, hey, Dianna, I have inside information about Lamar Jackson, I don't know if I want to do that anymore, understanding that the first guy who gets it might be Mike Vrabel, even if they're not, getting it on. I don't want the person I'm telling my stories to. I don't want to be the source for someone, like in this case, Dianna Russini, for someone who is holding hands and hugging and having breakfast with and sharing the hot tub with another NFL coach. You are cheating on the other 31 NFL coaches who you aren't hot tubbing, holding hands, and breakfasting with, who trusted you, who thought she's the senior insider. We can trust her, tell her our stories, give her our garbage, our baggage, and she'll report on it for The Athletic. Maybe she will. But just know, there's a good chance a big old hairy Mike Vrabel in the hot tub's getting that story before anybody else, baby. And for that reason, I'm out. 71% Instagram, Facebook posts, AI, 90% this year. 2024, an AI image of Jesus as a crab received 209,000 engagements, 4,000 comments as a piece of art. The boomers, man, they're falling for the AI. I thought I fell for the AI, but nope, Mike Vrabel and Dianna Russini just holding hands in Arizona. When we come back, there are other storylines afoot across the NFL. Oh, and this UNC Michael Malone thing. Was it the wrong move? And why is Fernando Mendoza not going to the NFL draft? This is Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. This is the Drake Toll Show.
At Augusta, the
I don't know why I keep on believing you need me when you've proved so many times that it ain't true. And I can't find one good reason for staying. Maybe my leaving would be the best for you. But these rose-colored glasses that I'm looking through show only the beauty, 'cause they hide all the truth. And they let me hold on to the good times, good lines, the ones I used to hear when I held you. And they keep me from feeling so cheated, defeated, when reflections in your eyes show me a fool. These rose-colored glasses that I'm looking through show only the beauty, 'cause they hide all the truth. So I'll just keep on hoping, believing that maybe by counting the many times I've tried, you'll believe me when I say I love you, and I'll lay these rose-colored glasses aside. These rose-colored glasses that I'm looking
Nice job, Laura Jimenez running the board today. She got one in there. Addie Bates produces. Oh! My goodness. Curtis Poindexter, he's gone for one day. And all of a sudden his job is robbed right out from underneath him. Laura's the consummate professional.
He's
She taught Curtis
spirit.
everything.
He's here in spirit.
Yeah. Luckily, he got a day off, this is good for Curtis.
No, he
gets to
doesn't.
Sleep a little bit.
He's working.
What? What do you mean he's working? Why is he not here? Where is he working
He'll
today?
be working later. He's coming in later.
Oh. For just specifically to work You Better, You Bet with Nick Costos? All right, great. Perfect. Curtis Poindexter away today from this show, at least. Laura Jimenez running the board. Addie Bates producing. It is the Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Yes, the same Westwood One where you heard the Final Four earlier this week. And I would like to get into, if only for a moment, this Fernando Mendoza to the NFL draft thing and why it could be controversial. And Trevor Lawrence was the last one to not do it. I still believe that Mendoza is going to go first overall in the NFL draft, and when his name is called, he won't be there. And then let's get into weird trouble afoot in New York. The Giants and Dexter Lawrence, who requested a trade, just didn't show up first day of the Giants offseason program where John Harbaugh wants to settle in and figure it all out. Weird deal with Mendoza. Weird deal with Harbaugh and Lawrence and the Giants. But stranger deal to me, and I want to get to this for a second, in college basketball with the hiring of Michael Malone as the next head coach of North Carolina. Michelangelo, right? Sistine Chapel. He paints that thing. And there's the picture of God and the angel, and they're touching their fingertip. They're basically doing what Mike Vrabel and Dianna Russini were doing. That's what the Sistine Chapel is painted as. It's just a bunch of folks holding hands and hugging somewhere around Sedona, Arizona. And here's the deal. As good as Michelangelo is at painting things, if you put Michelangelo in front of a, car motor and said, Big Mike, need you to fix this thing up, he wouldn't have a ding of where to start. Wouldn't even know how to begin. Wouldn't know what a car motor. He would probably die of fear for a lot of different reasons as you put Michelangelo in this scenario. So Michelangelo's great at one thing. He's an expert at one thing. He's very good. But when you change the game, you say, yes, you're incredible, Michelangelo, at craps. But you're terrible at baccarat. When you change the game on the expert, it doesn't always work. Well, what if we changed the game on the expert and we hired Michael Malone, the NBA coach, to be the next head coach of North Carolina? And what if we did so, ensuring that Malone would be here for 6 years and $50 million, making him one of the highest paid coaches in the sport of basketball? Anywhere in the world, at any level, any league. He hosted the donors for UNC. He didn't just work the phones his first couple of days where he's got to do transfer portal and assistant coaches and figure this out. 5-hour marathon meeting on Sunday night at his home that ended with the Carolina offer being a 6-year, $50 million contract. Never been a college basketball head coach. Hasn't been a head coach. It hasn't been a coach, I should say, in college basketball since 2001 at all. And 20 years in the NBA, 6 NBA playoff appearances, 510 NBA wins, 2023 wins the title. Jokic right there in the middle of it. And Steve Newmark, the executive AD at North Carolina, executive associate AD, Bubba Cunningham, the athletic director, said, I think his track record, he warrants that type of compensation. We also believe this institution, and where it sits in the basketball hierarchy, should be paying for what we believe is elite. I don't know if you just got a Larry Brown here I don't think you just got a Larry Brown. And you know what? I wouldn't pay Larry Brown that until I knew he was going to win at the highest level in my sport. If I'd seen Malone win in college basketball, it'd be different. If I'm an NBA organization and I'm hiring Malone for my team, that's different. I watched him win a championship, an NBA title at that level. Haven't seen him do it in college basketball. So why not give him? Why not? Hey, we're going to give Michael Malone a 4-year, $30 million deal. Who's going to balk at that? We're going to give Michael Malone a 4-year, $25 million deal. I personally would take a 4-year, $25 million deal. Michael Malone, on the other hand, maybe he wouldn't. But it sounds like, as an outsider who has attended practices at North Carolina and has mentioned UNC and how it's a basketball mecca, his daughter playing volleyball there, how he's mentioned his ties to UNC. Do you think Malone needed that kind of cash? Do you think Malone wouldn't have taken the job if not for that kind of money? I don't. I think you could have gotten Michael Malone for much cheaper than $50 million and locked in for 6 years. You know what happens in a world like that? Malone walks in. He goes 16-15 his first year, misses the NCAA tournament. He goes 13-17 in his second year, misses the NCAA tournament. And now you have to pay him $38 million. You've got to pay your basketball coach $38 million. That's what you're asking for, is for this to blow up in your face and it become a pretty serious problem at North Carolina that goes from, Hubert Davis just didn't win. And from, Hubert Davis didn't win to, not only did he not win, Michael Malone didn't win, and then we really had to pay Mike Malone. Therein lies the problem. I think this might be a problem afoot in Chapel Hill. Drake Toll with you, the Drake Toll Show, Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. No Fernando Mendoza at the NFL draft. Quick hitter here. You're going to lose the television product here. It's the optics of the old guard of the NFL, the TV business, the viewership experience for fans, being able to have something to latch onto. Like it dilutes the moment. The first overall pick, the Las Vegas Raiders select Fernando Mendoza, quarterback, Indiana. And then he's not there. The NFL draft used to be this smoke-filled room. Remember that? Multi-million-dollar TV spectacle. They're panning the camera to the tables. It's been decades. And it's this just high-energy, high-octane, wow, it's the NFL draft. And ABC, ESPN, NFL Network, they build the first round around television. They want you to watch the whole thing, be glued, dialed to your TV. Who's going to go next? Look, some years are boring. Some years it's chalk. Some years there are no big trades there in the first round, and you just see the guy stand up and walk across the stage. Other years, Will Levis has his foxy girlfriend there, and he's eating mayonnaise in the green room and never gets picked. It's just, they keep panning to him and the pretty lady, and the pretty lady's frustrated, and he's frustrated, and he just doesn't get picked. We love that stuff. We love conflict. We love oddity. We love it in the NFL. But now the number one overall pick, the biggest draw to the NFL, to see that guy. Let's go see RG3, Andrew Luck, Cam Newton. Let's go see these guys go number one overall. They always walk across the stage. But no, that biggest draw, the human emotion, Fernando Mendoza, who could be void of it, is just not going to do it. I don't take Fernando Mendoza as someone who is cocky, arrogant, going to be a problem for the game. But there is a sort of tradition that you're ignoring here. Did you know this? Fernando Mendoza had a 486 GPA while getting his master's. A 486 GPA while getting his master's. So I don't think he's being difficult. I think he's being analytical. I think he processes this decision, but it's some level for the fans, right? For people who love the Raiders, people who love Fernando Mendoza, people that love the NFL. You are not bigger than the game. This is what you do. This is part of the marketing machine. You have to buy in to the National Football League. Like, yes, it'd be easy for you to just sit at home with your family and no pomp, no circumstance. Buddy, boss, hoss, friend, the rest of your life is going to be pomp and circumstance. You play in the National Football League now. As the Raiders are reconstructing, as they are building, as they want to compete next season, as they want to do some sort of bridge thing, Kirk Cousins, Fernando Mendoza, who's going to be the day one starter? How do they build this? What's Tom Brady's input? As they're putting all of that together, as they're grabbing the undefeated national champion, you have to understand that Mendoza, who's a few hours from Bloomington, Pittsburgh, where the draft is, a few hours from where he's got a little apartment, little chateau, drive on over, boss man. These storylines are bigger than you. And I don't think his head's in the wrong place, his heart's in the wrong place. I think his physical body is going to be in the wrong place when he's not at the NFL draft. This is something you do. I don't like the spotlight. Get to liking the spotlight. You're the number one overall NFL draft pick. Fernando. This is an odd one.
The front, the back, whatever it is.
That's our guy. This is an odd one. Dexter Lawrence requested a trade recently from the New York Giants. And guess what? Shocking. I know. Crazy. Didn't show up to the Giants' first day of the offseason. Hey, everybody. See you on Tuesday. It's going to be awesome. Up top. High fives. I'm John Harbaugh. Yeah, up top. Woo! Yo. Anybody seen Big Dex? Where's Big Dex at? Come on, guys. Weird. I know he said the other day that he wanted to be traded. He's kidding around. He's playing one of those AI pranks. It's just like an AI thing. Well, right, guys, up top. Woo, I'm John Harbaugh. Dexter Lawrence has been trying to work out a new deal with the Giants. Yeah, I think he wants to remain in New York. The Giants just aren't really moving here. Harbaugh expressed optimism. Hey, man, I was high-fiving the guys. It felt great. I was a high-five over here, high-five over there. Didn't see Dex. We want him here. That was the quote. I believe Dexter wants to be here, and that's a good formula. Yeah, but good formula is without action, right? The algorithm without plugging in numbers is nothing. It just sits there. The algorithm sits there. The formula just sits there. It's not a law. It's an algorithm. It's a formula. It doesn't have to happen. You have to put it with it. There's to be inertia or some sort of motion that puts it into motion. The Giants haven't done that. Lawrence will make $20 million this season. 10th highest paid interior defensive lineman. And the Giants don't want to trade him. No. Kayvon Thibodeau, Harbaugh said when asked about it, he said everybody's tradable. Everybody is tradable. Seems like everybody includes Lawrence, and everybody's tradable. Lawrence is in there, and he wants it. There's business involved, Harbaugh said. That's what it is. There's business involved. It's not a formula. It's a business, John. It's a business. Presented by Robinhood. You expect more from yourself. Expect more from your money. Learn more and get started today with Robinhood at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Time for the Giants to pony up and pay Dexter Lawrence long term. Yeah. Coming up. Biggest losers of the day. Victor Wembanyama? Salt in the wound? This is Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. This is the Drake Toll Show.
Michigan wins its first title since 1989. The Wolverines are on top of the college.
it's a good day for singing this song, and it's a good day for moving along. Yes, it's a good day. How could anything go wrong? A good day from morning till night. Yes, it's a good day for shining your shoes, and it's a good day for losing the blues.
Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Laura Jimenez.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's
Laura, I
Wow,
love
welcome
that
to the
so much.
show.
I hope
Laura.
everyone has a good.
Laura, I love that
Day.
so much. I can't even begin to tell you how much I love that.
Glad everyone liked it.
That's good, Laura. Good morning, everybody. Drake Toll Show, Westwood One Sports. 310-840-4910. You can call or text the show, 310-840-4910. Look, man, last night there were, I think one of the most notable results we're going to skip over, that most people are going to skip over today and not fully delve into, would be the National Basketball Association's the National Basketball Association's Thunder beating the Lakers 123-87. Thunder went out west to do it too. Ooh, gross. Clippers over the Mavs 116-103. Rockets over the Suns in Phoenix 119-105. There were some good finals yesterday across the National Basketball Association. That's what I'm calling it today. 113-102 Celtics over the Hornets, who've had a great back half of the NBA season, and the Raptors, who are hanging around with the Heat 121-95. They wallop them, and we are bad close, dog. Like a couple of games away. Everybody's 2 or 3 games away from the end of the NBA season, and we'll get into the postseason. Those races heating up or closing up shop. The Spurs have effectively been blocked out of the 1 seed, the West. Oklahoma City just took care of business, did its job. And now OKC, who had a pretty tough stretch, it looked like that Lakers game was going to be a little bit tougher. Both of those Lakers games could have been tougher. Detroit, the Knicks. You had the Knicks, the Pistons, the Lakers twice. Thought, all right, maybe the door's open for San Antonio. Nope. OKC won 3 out of 4 of those games by double digits, and the only game that was close was 114-110 against Detroit, also a win for Oklahoma City. Over in the East, the Detroit Pistons, same thing. They've all but wrapped this thing up. They'll take the 1 spot out of the East. Celtics behind them. Knicks and Cavs kind of jumbled up in that 3 and 4 spot. Hockey, same thing, dog. Like every one of these games, which every game that occurred in December matters just as much as every game that occurs in April, but we don't like to think that way now, do we? Hurricanes beating the Bruins in overtime 6-5 yesterday. Avalanche back in the saddle with a 3-1 win over the Blues. The Stars, could the Stars finally do it? The Mammoth, the playoff Mammoth 6-5 at OT over the Oilers. It was an electric night last night in the NHL. Oh, and I'm not even done. The MLB. Fantastic. Rangers beat the Mariners, dropping the M's to 4-8 this season. Guardians, 2 games above 500 after a 2-1 win over the Royals. They moved to 7-5. The Mets over the Diamondbacks took them extra innings. The Cubs 9-2 over the Rays. And you know what? That's a pretty good segue into our biggest losers of the day. I'm going to go a little out of order here. I told you that Victor Wembanyama could be our biggest loser of the day, and we'll get to him. But there's a poor soul at the Cubs-Rays game yesterday who goes diving for a foul ball in the 9-2 contest, top of the 9th inning. And when he does so, seems this chap forgot to wear his belt. And it's one of the biggest moons you could draw up. Here's John Shambi on the call. It just goes silent at some point after Shambi sees a man's full entire ass.
Fly ball down the right side, and it'll twist off foul.
Ooh. Everybody okay down there?
I wish, and we can't, but it's 40 seconds of silence. It's 40 seconds. He says, oof. Everybody okay down there? And there's just a large man laying on the ground. His entire bare butt is exposed. Wear a belt, kids. That's our first biggest loser of the day. Also a big loser today. I beg your pardon. Here, Mr. Stephen A. Smith. Here's what he had to say about Victor Wembanyama.
We forget how slim he really is. And so when you see something like that happens, it reminds you of the vulnerability. Like, where's the beef? You see, okay, that's the one thing lacking. Ain't nothing else lacking. But the one thing lacking on him is that beef, that meat right there. You understand? This is not Shaquille O'Neal where, you about to run to a bench for a loose ball and the entire bench clears because you're coming. We'll be there ready to catch you. There's a difference. Yeah.
I mean, what? I think Stephen A. Smith is upset. Hear me out. He is upset that NBA player is aerodynamic. Stephen A. Smith upset that NBA... Good morning, Addie Bates, by the way. That NBA player Victor Wembanyama is not fat. God, make up your mind, people. One day Luka Doncic is way too fat, needs to go on Ozempic, needs to be on Roe, GLP-1. And the next day, Victor Wembanyama is way too skinny. Somebody make up your mind on what you want. What's the perfect prototype in the NBA? Addie, I don't think that Victor Wembanyama's bruised rib is because he's slender. You ever met Kevin Durant, Chet Holmgren? You ever met 90% of the NBA?
They don't got that meat on them. They just don't got that meat.
They don't got that meat.
Where is
Stephen A. Smith wants some Zach Randolph-esque bodies in the NBA right now. Some Kyle Lowry, big dumper. He would love if Cal Raleigh played in the. He would love if Cal Raleigh played in the NBA.
R.I.P. Stephen A. Smith. You would have loved Cal Raleigh.
That's good. That's good. Biggest loser of the day. Weird. Irish cuisine? Here is Rory, who's had a weird week. Honestly, kind of a tough week if you've listened to any of his press conferences. And here's what Rory had to say about Irish dinner when selecting his menu for the Masters.
But also wanted it to be something that all the other people in that room would enjoy as well. People keep asking me, why didn't you go more Irish? And I said, because I want to enjoy the dinner as well.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Thank you, Rory. That's being courteous to his fellow golfers and not making it too Irish and admitting himself that Irish food's just not that good in general. Good day. Beans, anyone? Beans and stale bread? The Irish classic? It's tradition. Don't make fun of it. What are you about to say? Come on, say it.
No, I wasn't going to say anything.
Yeah, thank you. It's tradition. Idiot of the day is later. This is Biggest Losers. Baltimore Orioles. This is crazy. I'll flip it. It's Pittsburgh Pirates. They sweep Baltimore in a 3-game series for the first time since 1893. The first quote tweet says, does that say 18? Yes, 1893. Addie, how is this possible?
Divisions, different, team bad, team good. Let's go Pirates. Let's go Pirates.
Wow, Bucktober. Shortest month of the year, Bucktober. October 1st, wild card game, Pittsburgh Pirates, and they lost. I miss the old format. Bring it back. So much more ruthless. I don't know who the biggest loser is there. The team that got swept, the team that hasn't swept the other team since 1893. Cardinals and Nationals, biggest loser of the day. The Nationals, they post a graphic that has one of the guys of all time, big red beard, Washington Nationals hat, a glove, hairy forearm, and says Cardinals versus Nationals tonight, 6:45 p.m. And Twitter's going nuts because no one can name the player that they put on the graphic. Addie, could you, gun to your head, name this player?
Zach Littell.
Zach Littell. Very nice. Does he go to the local bar during trivia night?
Well, we go to a bar in Virginia. He probably is in Navy Yard. He's probably doing trivia at, like, Chicken and Whiskey. I don't even think the place is around anymore.
Oh,
You know what I'm
fancy,
saying?
huh? High roller.
Yeah.
Shaq tweets, y'all got to label the players. Who the hell is this? And the
Google
first
me.
response is, that's your ace, brother.
Google me.
That's your ace. You'd have to AI. You have to ask, Grok, who is this? Grok, what is this?
Yeah, with a 360
fi-
ERA. Let's go.
Final biggest loser of the day, Luka Doncic. Angel Reese traded for 2 first-round picks. She's in Atlanta now. Luka Doncic, when he was traded for 1 first-round pick, really makes you think. Who's better, huh? That's right, Angel Reese. This is about history. Her story, to be exact. Reese is now a member of the Atlanta. With Reese being traded, that story, 2 first-round picks versus 1 for Luka, that story, that comparison really does make you think, was Luka too fat? That's a question you got to ask yourself. Was Luka too fat? And is he still too fat?
On a scale of Wemby to Luka, where do you think you're at right now?
Oh, that's
what I'm gonna
good.
start
That's
using.
real. Yeah, because Luka never gets hurt because of fat, because he's meaty boy.
Yo, the stuff that's going on
that
in
is-
Europe, he's not hurt.
Oh, not hurt. Oh, no. Addie Bates produces. Laura Jimenez runs the board. When we come back, it's our obituaries on the Drake Toll Show.
This is Westwood One Sports.
I am sitting in the morning at the diner on the corner. I am waiting at the counter for the man to pour the coffee.
And he feels it only halfway. And before I even argue, he is looking out the window at somebody coming in.
It is the Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. I don't think Laura saw that coming. Look, he gets you. He right when you least expect it. Here it goes. Yeah.
Wow.
That's good stuff right there. Couldn't tell you who sings it. It's a cover. It's a cover. Cover.
What do you mean?
Isn't it like Giant Rooks or something like that? Is the cover of that Giant Rooks? Am I making that name up?
Maybe. It could be. It's something funky like that.
Oh, it was Giant Rooks. Wow.
Wow,
Nice.
no, girl.
Wow, that's really impressive.
Wow,
Actually.
okay.
Happy National Women in Sports Day. Congratulations.
Is that? I feel like you made that up.
You done it. Congratulations.
I am the woman
3-
in sports.
310-840-4910. It is time for today's obituaries. So I'm gonna do this. Dead today. Spanish videos on my Instagram.
Why?
So, one of my great friends, Jose Benitez, is the voice of Jose Benitez. Is the voice of, he does the Bananas games in Spanish. We hired him to do ESPN Deportes. Okay? So I'm scrolling through my Instagram, and I come across this, which is, the caption says, "Did you know all of our games are in Spanish?" Listen to this.
Beach Coconut team scoreless. Down third, Eli Patton through the legs. A great play at the hot corner for Eli Patton.
So you hear that, right? You're like, that's not Spanish.
not
Also,
Spanish.
that's not my friend Jose. He doesn't sound like that. So I'm starting to get very confused of why we're posting just this random English. Oh, it's a pattern. It's an out. Every Instagram post in Spanish is automatically translated. Didn't know this till today. Automatically translated to whatever language you have your Instagram set to. So I can set it back. I'm learning this for the very first time. I can untranslate it.
Oh, la filió muy bien, Matt Wolf. El tiro a primera base. Jugadón con truco. Llegó.
Way cooler that way, by the way.
Yeah.
Dead today. Didn't know it. Is this news to anyone else?
I get Spanish videos on my feed, so I don't.
Yeah, I don't.
Do you really?
There's no translation.
I think it's
Set
because
your-
yeah, I think it sees blonde dude from Bologna.
So
was
this
like,
white man needs some translation. Get it
Yeah.
to him.
Which, I mean, yeah, I probably, in most scenarios, I probably do need translation. It's got a good point. Like, the
Especially
Instagram,
when
the
it hears
Instagram
you-
knows.
when it hears you say ESPN Deportes.
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 Yeah, there you go.
Jose
Deportes.
Benitez.
Benitez.
I'm sorry. That's how I born and raised in Arkansas. Okay? All right? Born and raised in Arkansas. Obituary dead today. Loyalty. Of course, it is transfer portal season. College basketball players are going to try their luck somewhere else. And Carl Towns Van Zant, great, really good Twitter name, tweets, portal season's the best because it's all a part of God's plan to transfer every season. Yeah, it's yesterday was day one of the portal, and you got the first influx of the graphics. Hey, I feel like God's telling me to transfer. Talk to my family, feel like they're telling me to transfer. I talked to myself, feel like they're telling me to transfer. I talked to the money. Oh, Oh, and the money's telling me to transfer. Lend me your ears for a couple minutes on this one. I originally was against the John Calipari thing where he came to the podium a couple days ago and said, the sucky part about this is some kid's going to make $500,000 for the only time in his life, and then his concept of money is ruined. But then I remembered some of your favorite basketball players ever in March Madness, some of the stars in March Madness, are now high school principals or stockbrokers. Or they are the desk clerk, hello Doug Edert, they're the desk clerk at the local New York Life. Can you imagine what it would be like? Let's go back for when you were 21 years old, 20 years old. Let's give the 20-year-old version of yourself $3 million. Now, the problem in college basketball, the problem with the transfer portal, is today we don't want great NBA players in our college program. That's not how you win a national championship. You win a national championship by going the Michigan route. Uh-oh. And what is the Michigan route? Well, the Michigan route is to sign a bunch of players who are 23 years old that will never play in the NBA. We want old guys. We want them fat and old. And so what you do is you go pay Yaxel Lendeborg $2 million. And then Yaxel Lendeborg gets done with the season, and the NBA says, well, we don't want you. You're 23. We can't do anything with that. So you just made $1.2 million, we'll say. Congratulations, Addie Bates. 23-year-old Addie Bates gets paid $1.3 million. That's the number. That's what I'm, yep. You want 1.4? You want 2.4? You know what?
I'm
Fine.
24.
This is a hypothetical. You're not actually getting millions of dollars. All right, so you're 20, you know what? Whatever. College basketball players are 24 now, so
exactly.
it fits. You're 24, we give you $2 million. And then we tell you, hey, this time next year, you're going to be a safari guide at Epcot. Like, what? Yep, for $19 an hour, you're a safari guide at Epcot. How do you go from making $2 million in a year to being a normal human? Because now college basketball players are making that adjustment.
You befriend Mike Vrabel,
who is very close and special friends with Dianna Russini and could probably connect you if you want to become a reporter someday.
Exactly.
Speaking of dead today, I got to be careful here for legal purposes. Dead today, saying normal things. Here is audio from The Athletic on Dianna Russini saying Mike Vrabel's so big that NFL franchises couldn't take it.
What is your sense of why Vrabel doesn't have a head coaching job right now?
I don't think that there was a fit for him. I don't think he sat in front of any owner who thought that his style was going to work for what they were looking for. Do you know I had a GM at the Senior Bowl who mentioned to me Vrabel's physical build, that he's a very large human being and can be very intimidating to people in an organization that are going to be part of these decisions. And that is a factor, which I laughed. I said, stop, that's not something that's real. Who cares what someone physically looks like? And he said, I'm just telling you, I've been in rooms and somebody's physical presence can make a difference.
Uh-huh. I'm just telling you, Dianna Russini has been in rooms, and sometimes someone's physical presence can make a difference.
Very suspicious. Very suspicious.
It's weird, some of the sound bites that have come up from Dianna Russini in regards to either men or Mike Vrabel or her husband. Another soundbite said her mom was so surprised that Russini's husband was happy and wondered if he had a girlfriend. That's why that's why he was so chipper. Like, what's going on here? Again, per Dianna Russini, breaking news: Mike Vrabel couldn't originally get a job because he was so big and girthy as a human.
Ooh.
His stature was large.
Ooh.
So couldn't get a job. Thank you, Dianna, for the scratch reporting. If you missed it, they held hands, Mike Vrabel, Dianna Russini, and hugged and hot tubbed together in Sedona, Arizona yesterday. Those are our obituaries. Time for the quickie. Top 5 headlines and world of sports. I have a minute to respond to each of them. I am Drake Toll. That is Addie Bates. Addie, take it away.
First headline, Soler Lopez trade haymakers ejected in brawl.
Yeah, man. I miss when baseball players used to fight. I brought it up for some reason 15 times now. Jose Oquendo and Will Clark. But it's awesome. That's why I continue to bring it up. I miss the days where we could all get together on a professional field and punch each other. It's just cooler that way. Yeah, thank you, Laura. And every time the league's like, oh, we're so sorry, we're fining you, we're suspending you. Like, no, we need more of this. Brawls are awesome. Also, this was legit. Like they were really, really punching each other. And it was a lot of guys involved as well. Impressed with it, happy with it. Somebody out there is upset, like, I don't want to teach my kids that. Well, then don't. I don't know, man. But if you just sit back and enjoy it for what it is, the brawls are a pretty damn cool part of sports. That's why you go to hockey games. It's legal in a hockey game, right? Baseball, you can't. Why? Someone riddle me that. Why?
I mean, legal, like, you'll get 5 minutes in the penalty box for, fighting, but my favorite part of that fight, though, was Walt Weiss, the Braves manager, tackling Soler. Literally, tackling him. That's who knocked him down. Man. And Lopez, you see hits Soler in the head with a baseball. And then my favorite part about baseball fights is always the bullpens running out. And it's usually like, what are you going to do? What are you trying to do?
Yeah, by the time they get there, it's over. It's over.
It's amazing. Here's your second headline. Colorado's QB's blood alcohol level twice legal limit in fatal crash.
Yeah, I saw that. I mean, it amplifies the tragedy here, and like when you're dealing with a drunk driving crash, and in an instant where you as the drunk driver, it's fatal to you, like that, and you're 20, 21, that makes the entire thing obviously far more brutal. Just given the age, given the fact that the kid needed help and didn't get it at Colorado. And, I mean, I also, another piece of this, genuinely, when I saw this headline as somebody who reports in the Big 12, Locked On Big 12, thought, what just a stupid thing. Like, if you're a national outlet, what is the point in posting that headline? Like, who needed to know that at the top of their feed yesterday? The Dominic Ponder had a blood alcohol level, 20. He was 23 years old. I don't think it was really necessary to post this, but a single car accident, electrical line pole, fatal, alcohol level at 0.167. Another very clear message: don't drink and drive.
Third headline: Gino apologizes to Staley, says, "I lost myself."
Yeah, just don't be weird, I guess, is my message. After watching what Gino did with Dawn, where he's yelling at her, like, you shake my hand before the game. And she's yelling, I effing shook your hand, Gino. I shook your hand. The way he handled it at the post-game press conference, the way he handled that hour. I did think in the graphic he posted, his quote that said, I've lost more Final Four games than anyone else in history. That's a good, yeah. I mean, he's experienced this moment. It's not to say that he can't handle the moment. He's had to handle it more than anyone else. He just didn't. In this instance, he did not. And disparaged, disgraced, not just the game, but one of the great coaches in the game in Don Staley. Gino takes his lumps for this one. Bad look on Gino. Bad look on UConn.
Fourth headline going to NBA. Mavs dispute claim they erred with Reeves' MRI.
This is a weird one. I was reading about this one last night, and I am still a little bit confused about what. So, in essence, the Mavericks are disputing J.J. Redick's claim. So, Redick's the first one to come out on this and say, hey, they MRI'd the wrong part of Austin Reeves. The Mavs failed him when we were playing in Dallas, and Reeves got hurt. And the Mavericks said, nope. There was no error in the scan performed. Our medical team followed the standard imaging protocols based on the information given. And then Redick goes back, and then Dallas goes back. And then Redick, the quote was, I don't know where the chain of command lies with Dallas imaging, but they scanned the wrong area. And in the end, we got the image we needed. Obviously very appreciative of whoever got them that image. But a weird situation where one franchise is claiming that another organization did not handle their player's injury correctly. Odd. Just odd.
It's kind of like what we saw with Mbappe earlier this year, where they kind of scanned the wrong knee. However that happens. Alrighty, well, apparently...
they attached the wrong toe to the wrong side, but whatever.
That happens, that happens. Apparently the next Bulls GM must be sold on Billy Donovan.
Yeah, I'm surprised I think Billy Donovan would have been the head coach of North Carolina if the timeline matched up a little bit more, but it didn't. You got to have a head coach now. Transfer portal. Donovan couldn't leave in the middle of the night for the NBA. And look, best of luck in that franchise. Best of luck to the next Bulls GM, but 100%. If you're not ready to back a coach like Billy Donovan, who has won at every level, who I think can still win in the NBA, deserves to be an NBA champion someday, have a roster that could win an NBA championship. If you're not sold on Billy, then you're missing out on a Hall of Famer. You're saying no to a Hall of Famer. Bulls have a lot of stuff they got to figure out, and their last couple weeks have been tumultuous. But somehow, some way, they still have their head coach, Billy Donovan. Addie Bates produces. Laura Jimenez runs the board. That is the Quickie. Coming up, let's talk a little golf with a Masters expert from Back Nine Bets. This is Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. This is the Drake Toll Show.
North Carolina has hired former Nuggets coach Michael Malone.
Hey you, hey you with the curly bush on your head, baby. You know you're looking good, you know you're looking good, you know you're looking good. Soul sister, 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 woo. You're looking good, honey.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, baby.
Hey, you. Ooh, ooh. Hey, you with the bad hip boots on, little girl. You're the baddest in the world. It sure would be nice, honey, if I could just make you my girl. And when you walk, you know you let me know that you're so very much together, 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 together. Ooh. And when you talk to me, honey, you know you make me feel lighter than a feather. I've never known it, but I've always wanted the best in life. And if I had you, honey, I know that I could forget about the rest in life. I can't conceal, no, the way I feel. You're about a head turner, you're about a soul burner. Hey you, hey you with the curly bush on your head, baby. You know you're looking good, you know you're looking good, you know you're looking good. Soul sister, 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 sister. Ooh. And hey you, hey you with the bad hip boots on, little girl, you're the baddest in the world. It sure would be nice, honey, honey, if I could just make you my girl.
Toll Show. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. What a day it is, man. That's the beauty of it. Not only did the National Basketball Association rock last night, not only is the NHL a thing of beauty right now, hello, Utah Mammoth, not only is the MLB a madhouse where literally the Braves and the Angels in a brawl last night, or the Mariners sitting at 4-8. There's so much. And in the middle of all of it, the Masters, golf. Man, we talked ad nauseum last week about Tiger and hydrocodones and dating back to 2009, how his career spiraled off of the golf course. This week, Masters conversation, it shouldn't start with Tiger. It shouldn't start with his omission. It should start, in my opinion, with Matt Fitzpatrick. Joining the Drake Toll Show, Byron Lindeque, golf expert, Fantasy Golf Degenerates podcast. Find him at The Model Maniac on Twitter. Byron, if I told you Matt Fitzpatrick, Masters champion 4 days from now, would you believe me?
I would believe you. Yes, I would. It wouldn't be shocking, but I don't think it's going to happen.
So for you, Fitzpatrick's one of those guys. I've got a couple dollars on you, half a unit here, quarter of a unit there on this guy or that guy. As you look at the field, what name stands out as the guy that if you're putting smart money on that guy, it needs to be this guy?
It's a guy that not a lot of us really like that much, and I think that's why we get a really nice number on him, and it's Patrick Reed. He's one of the most, specific players on this golf course who's had multiple successes in the last couple of years. He's a green jacket holder, and he's won twice on the DP World Tour this year already with the second as well. So he's got the course history, he's got the form, and he's 43-1 out there. So, that makes way too much sense in my opinion. I've also bet him top 20.
4 of his last 5 events at Augusta, Patrick Reed has finished in the top 10. He's proven that he can win when out in Georgia. The Live Golf PGA kind of great truce that will happen this weekend, and guys like Jon Rahm, his name in the middle of all of it. How has that changed the dynamic of the Masters with the Live guys coming over, that controversy being put to rest for at least a few days when these players meet in Augusta?
Well, that's the interesting thing, actually, especially with Jon Rahm. The other guys seem to have just kind of let water flow under the bridge where it needs to, but Rahm is in this back and forth with the DP World Tour about not paying fines and having certain amounts of starts under the umbrella. And Jon Rahm has yet to top 5 at a major since moving to Live. So one can argue that it's either got to do with the lack of, quality of field or competition over there, or the fact that he's not feeling comfortable about what he's getting up to. I think he's been one of these guys that at Augusta since 2018, 4th, 9th, 7th, 5th, 27th, and then he won the damn thing in 2023. But the last 2 years, it's 14th and 45th. It's just been a weird situation for the man. So for the rest of the guys, I think it is just a week of serenity, like you mentioned. We got guys throwing haymakers on baseball fields. That's not happening at Augusta this week.
It is Byron Lindeque joining the Drake Toll Show, Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. You can find him on Twitter at The Model Maniac for all things golf, the Fantasy Golf Degenerates podcast as well, and others. We've had a golf segment now for 6 minutes and not said the name Scotty Scheffler. I'm being told by our production staff that I will be fired if we go any further without mentioning that name. How important are those 2 words put together, Scotty and Scheffler, as it pertains to the Masters this weekend?
It is very important because we are starting to see some of the odds drift towards actually bettable. But the sad thing is we've all made our bets already. It's like you mentioned, quarter unit here, half a unit there. Scotty Scheffler's drifting to 6-1 right now. And given his track record here, he's basically won this thing every other year now for the last 4. And it's really, really difficult, kind of bringing Rory McIlroy into the mix as we speak about Scotty. Defending champions barely ever finish inside the top 5 the following year. And Scotty finished fourth last year with wine stems still like stuck in his hand essentially from Christmas, you know. So he's really got the ability to do well around this golf course. But as always, he's priced very fairly and kind of tough for us to kind of get to, given all the other options that are playing really good golf right now.
Yeah, Byron, based on Rory's thoughts and comments this week, he was ripped by a lot of folks for saying that, you know, most years he's amped up for the Masters. This year he hopes it never starts because he loves being the champion, and that's not quite that killer mentality. I don't guess we should ever expect the killer mentality from Rory. It's not what he's known for. Is there any chance that he breaks the mold and gets up there with Nicklaus and Tiger and goes back-to-back this week?
I'd say from an expectation standpoint, there's a good chance because, you know, he is the defending champ. All the weight is off his shoulders from the Grand Slam. He just came off a back injury a couple of weeks ago. So I'd imagine his expectations are pretty low. But again, all of those things are working against him statistically, you know, given the track record of the guys defending, and the back injury kind of derailed him a bit at the Players. So I'm not entirely sure what to expect from Rory McIlroy either, but if history repeats itself, we could probably expect him to finish somewhere around 15th to maybe missing the cut even, you know.
Yeah, Byron, started the conversation with the mention of last week, Tiger Woods dominating not just the golf storylines, but overall sports storylines with the DUI, and he's calling the president. There's just so many intricate layers to peel back from that onion, and now he's not competing in the Masters. Ultimately, and this is how I felt 2 weeks ago, that Tiger gearing up for the Masters was more of a distraction. You know, old guy who's still hanging around is Tiger Woods. He's the legend, obviously, but man, there's no way he could compete. There's no way he makes the cut at the Masters. Is it better to have him out of the tournament in a year like this where he really would have only taken the spotlight from other guys?
Yeah, it's a really interesting question because last year Bernard Langer had a 10-foot putt to kind of make the weekend in his final Masters, which still shows that when he showed up, he was competitive, right? And it's almost weird to think that if Bernard Langer showed up this year, he has a better chance of making the cut than Tiger Woods, which is kind of crazy to think about, right? So it is a blessing in disguise, I think. It would really suck to see him hobbling up the fairway. You know, it's a difficult golf course to walk, and I think we all want to try and treasure as much of a positive memory about one of the greatest golfers of all time. And, you know, maybe him not being here this week is helping that.
But Byron, what do you make of this latest Tiger kerfuffle and now him going overseas to get treatment? What should the golf world think when they see headlines like that about a legend such as Tiger Woods?
I think that we're all human and we all make mistakes, and I think that's kind of all I really have to say. It's quite a sensitive situation because of his, you know, status in the world as a celebrity and calling the president and all that kind of stuff. Maybe this is finally the incident that really helps him move forward in his life in a different direction than golf, and kind of just realizing that there are bigger things in life to achieve than winning golf tournaments. And, you know, maybe kind of keeping his life together for the sake of his family, for the fans that love him and all of that. It might be time for him to kind of decide I'm going this way instead of trying to keep my body ready to play golf.
Yeah, really well put and well said. Byron Lindeque on the Drake Toll Show at The Model Maniac from Fantasy Golf Degenerates Podcast. Byron, before we let you go, 89th Masters this weekend. Where can folks find more of your content, and what's the surefire thing that people should be watching for with this iteration of the Masters?
Thank you. You can find all my stuff at the Model Maniac Patreon. If you want to use code Masters26, you can get yourself 50% off there. This week, I think kind of just we've seen the last couple of years, Scotty, Rory, Jon Rahm, those guys have come in firing on all cylinders. So if you're making sure that you've got some good course history at the Masters, you've finished second in a major at least before, and you are playing good golf in 2026, if you figure out how to find those guys in a spreadsheet, one of those names will likely be winning this week. So it's going to be a fantastic week. The weather looks calm for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We're going to be expecting fantastic golf shots. The course seems firm and fast, and it can't get you fast enough. So I'm thrilled for the Masters. It's 24 hours away, baby, just about.
I love it. Byron, thanks so much for your time this morning and joining the Drake Toll Show.
Thank you so much.
Again, Byron Lindeque. Find him at The Model Maniac, 2023 FSWA Golf Rider of the Year. And I thought he hit the nail on the head. If you were really dialed in, listening there, the payoff that he gave you in discussing a Rory, who almost has so many things stacked against him, or so much that from injury to the pomp and circumstance of being the defending Masters winner, the expectation being so low for him that maybe the lack of expectation is what propels Rory to win this week. Maybe that's what makes it easier for him. We have audio, we have a clip here of Rory talking about it, the aforementioned, and I said it there in our bit with Byron, about how Rory usually is looking forward to the Masters. When he came to the podium this week, here's what he said about how this year, we can put it on delay.
And I think for the past, 17 years, I just could not wait for the tournament to start. And this year, I wouldn't care if the tournament never started. So that's sort of the difference. It's completely different. I feel so much more relaxed. I know that I'm going to be coming back here for a lot of years. Going to enjoy the perks that the champions get here, and doesn't make me any less motivated to go out there and play well and try to win the tournament. But yeah, just more relaxed about it all.
You know, and for those that dissented or pushed back on what Rory said, for those that were like, oh, wow, that's not a competitor's mindset. Yeah, I mean, there's a piece of that, no doubt. But I'm like, okay, all right. That quip wasn't necessary, Rory. That's not helping. That's not helping the half-unit bet that I put on you. But, man, maybe that's exactly what he needs. A guy who was ragged for years for, hey, here comes Rory, up 3 strokes on Sunday. Here comes Rory, 3 holes left, up 2 strokes. And then falls apart. That's the Rory that I knew. Then he won the Masters. What if this is different? What if now it all comes together for Rory McIlroy? Or if Scotty Scheffler, Bryson DeChambeau, John Rahm. The John Rahm storyline's awesome, man. The dude sold his soul to Live Golf, and now, bang, this is the opportunity for these Live Golf guys to come back and kind of, duck down in the distance. Like, wait a second, is that John Rahm? Live Golf's John Rahm? Yes. And Rahm plays well at the Masters, too. He's got as good a shot as anybody at the top. If you want a value bet, John Rahm is one of them because he plays well. And, I mean, the aforementioned, right? Yeah, I personally, Colin Morikawa is also, he may get an entire unit in my book to win the Masters. I like Morikawa, though banged up, still hurt. Scotty Scheffler is one that we didn't give enough time and attention to. I mean, come on, it's Scotty Scheffler. What are we doing here, man? If there's anybody you put money on, if there's anybody you're watching on Sunday, if there's anybody you're watching this weekend that you want to win, that golf is more fun when that guy wins, it is Scotty Scheffler. And he is the favorite in every golf tournament for the rest of time, or at least should be. And Scheffler, the Masters, will tee off in 24 hours. Coming up, let's go there. The NBA postseason is almost here. What are our playoff scenarios? Who sits where? What should you be watching for in the next, 6 days? Because we're right on top of the NHL and NBA postseason. Sponsored by Progressive Commercial Insurance, which protects small businesses with affordable coverage options. Quote today at progressivecommercial.com, progressivecommercial.com. Here's what you need to know about the NBA postseason right here on the Drake Toll Show.
Michigan wins its first title since 1989.
can trust, that love me for the man I've become, not the man that I was. And I wanna have friends that let me be all alone when being alone is all that I need. The perfect space, feel natural and safe in a volatile place, and I wanna grow old without the pain, give my body back to the earth and not complain. Understand when I am too old of a man? Will you forget when we have paid our debt? Who did we borrow from? Who did we borrow from? Okay, part two, now clear the house. The party's over, take the shouting and the people get out. I have some business and a promise that I have to hold to. I do not care what you assume or what the people tell you. Will you understand when I am too old of a man? And will you forget when we have paid our debt? Who did we borrow from? Who did we borrow from? I wanna have pride like my mother has, and not like the kind in the Bible that turns you bad. I wanna have friends that I can trust, that love me for the man I've become, not the man that I was.
the Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Addie Bates produces. Laura Jimenez runs the board today. Curtis is back tomorrow, is that right?
What?
Like if they asked me, they said, Drake, Curtis is back tomorrow, right?
Yeah, he's back tomorrow. Don't worry, don't worry. You only have me for one day. Don't worry.
Not worried. We've had Laura for so many days in our life, and they've all gone well. If you asked me, you said, hey, Drake, I need you to, we're going to hurt you. We're going to tar and feather you. Because remember, we'd established the Constitution or whatever it is, says you cannot, what is it, torture people? No unreasonable punishment.
Oh, my Lord.
Cruel and unusual punishment.
Weren't you a history major, minor, or something?
Correct. But if they waterboarded me until I screamed the words Westwood One, it would probably sound like this. Westwood One! And wow, they would stop waterboarding me right now. They'd give me an award, a medal. And now I have a bit of a problem. I have a problem. I might buy a boat today.
Of course you will.
Is that a problem or a... Really?
I might buy a boat today.
What kind of boat?
I've been saving up for tax season. Okay, so here's what I do. I always plan to pay the government a ton of money. That's how it happens most years. Is the government comes to my door and they say, "Hey, you have one of your jobs is a 1099. Yeah, one of your jobs is 1099. Another job is W-2. This job's this. Your LLC is this. You owe this. So I'm already paying out the ass the entire year, quarterly, everything, right? So I save up this big pot to, at the end of the year, give the government. Well, it turns out this year I didn't have to give the government as much as I expected. So the rest of it becomes a kind of end-of-year bonus, right? So every April, if I have extra money saved up in that pot, it's the end-of-year bonus. This year, it's like, all right, I've been thinking about a boat for a while because, I live on the ocean. The ocean's right there. Should I do it? And I found one. And here's the problem. These grubby little Facebook Marketplace people, they're grubby. They're grubby. They're too skinny. They're just like Victor Wembanyama. They all want this boat. They all want the same boat. So I have to leave the show in 3 minutes if I want to go get this boat before somebody else actually lands the plane here.
No, you
Not
don't.
land the plane because it's a boat. 1997, Mako 171. It is 1997 Mako 171, Hilton Head Island, South Carolina, and 17 feet. 6 people, got speakers, 2006 Yamaha. Come on. Permission? Come on. Grant me permission to get this boat.
What is your intent? Like, are you just trying to have a boat to have a boat?
Two things. One, fish. I love catching the fish. Again, there are a lot of them in the ocean right there. You can see the ocean from where I'm recording. Not like like you're picturing a scenic view. Not a very scenic view.
Why don't you
more
just
like
get a
a swampy
bass
marsh
tracker
thing.
Yeah.
I would like to have a boat, a formidable boat that, like, hey, the waves are coming across the ocean and they can kill you.
Go out there.
Correct, out there. And I want to be able to fit 6 people comfortably in leisure when I want to go to Defusky Island. It's the only way you can access Defusky Island is to go from Hilton Head or Tybee Island and drive your boat to the island. It's the only way to do it. And I want to do that, please.
What I'm gathering from this is you make so much more money than I do.
No.
Yeah.
What are you saying? What are you gathering?
That's what I'm gathering from this. I'm trying to figure out, like, Sinatra, remember earlier this year how she had all those issues? We had to take her to the vet? Man, that was a hit. Car issues? That was another hit. Drake is like, what kind of boat am I going to buy? I'm like, if I have another medical scare, how am I going to afford this for Sinatra? And he's like,
I know so many modest people.
Papa was going to buy me this boat, but then I decided. Let me guess, you have someone else do your taxes too?
Oh my gosh, yes. Are you kidding me?
I do my
own taxes.
I do my own taxes, and I have a 1099
that's
too.
That's great. That's awesome. I have a CPA who is I pay taxes every 3 months. My CPA is great.
Laura, so I need to tell Laura this. Last week, Drake was talking about how he hired cleaners for the house, and he was like, it was like $400. He's like, do y'all ever get cleaners? And Curtis and I both just stood there, like, we were sitting here silent.
We're Mexican. What do you mean?
Thank you. I was like, Curtis said what I was thinking. I was like, dog, I am the cleaners. What are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about?
I did not say that. I would never say that. I would be fired immediately.
No,
I will not say that.
It's just these little things that are just so funny. Like, no, my dad, even, like I told you, he'll trim the trees himself. No, we're not hiring anybody to go do that.
Nah,
no, we don't do that.
You don't waste that kind of money. See, you should be using your money for, like, smarter things, you know?
Yeah, like, pay off your Bronco.
Charity?
No. I shouldn't pay off the Bronco.
Why would you want to have a car payment?
Because debt's not a bad thing. Number one, if your interest rate on the vehicle 6%, if your interest rate does not match the rate of your, like I've got a money market account at 8%, right? Give the bank the money, 8% is your money market account. So if that interest rate's a 2% gap, I ultimately over time would rather have the money in the bank than that is accruing money itself than have $0 in the bank and have a paid off car.
So
I'd rather have money that's making money for me.
So instead of paying off your house or paying off your car, you want to add something else, which is a damn boat. Do you know how much gas costs to fill up a boat, by the way?
I know many modest people who have boats. My grandma's one of them. So many modest people have a boat's not a crazy thing. Yes, Arkansas, Greers Ferry Lake, Peckerwood Lake, all kinds of lakes. Lake Conway, lots of lakes.
Peckerwood.
Correct. Peckerwood Lake, some of the best crappie fishing in the world, some of the best duck hunting in the world. Next to Stuttgart, Arkansas. What are you talking? When did a boat become this crazy thing? Like I knew people all through high school that had boats that were really
crazy.
modest people.
I am saying like
about taxes and then you're complaining about a boat. I don't know, man.
Owning a boat is not like that is a privilege. I should say that is a privilege.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm not
talking about getting a boat. I don't know what's going on here. I didn't mean this isn't supposed to be an attack.
No one is saying that. You're like I know plenty of modest people, guys. Just because I hired the cleaners and bought a Bronco and refinanced my house, I'm getting a boat. I know plenty of modest people, guys. I'm like, dog. I'm like, if Sinatra has the common cold again and it costs me $1,800, I'm like, damn. Sorry,
the cleaner
Sinatra.
didn't cost $1,800.
No, I'm saying that
the cleaners are one time.
No, I'm saying like the difference and stuff like like right now I'm like, damn, Sinatra, like we might actually have to put you down if it's going to cost another.
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I would know. I'm like, Sinatra, $3,600 for you to have the common cold and shave your little chicken leg.
You know what, Sinatra? You're listening. I can see her in the background. Sinatra, I wouldn't put you down. I wouldn't let you die.
You can't afford not to put him down.
I don't know when this became okay. Having
family.
someone do your
taxes.
kids living in the suburbs.
Exactly.
Completely normal.
He said
once a year as a present to myself and the world, I can have someone clean the house. That's not me. When I have company and family coming over, it worked out really well actually. I would do that again. Not for $400, but I would do it again in once a year probably is the right. Yes, which I do clean the house every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks, there's hey, dust this, make sure this is clean, make sure the bathrooms are clean, pick up your clothes, which is fine.
Big boy.
I don't think it's a crazy thing to have someone who helps with your taxes. When I was in college, my roommate Dylan Schmidt helped with my taxes.
I've heard other people do that.
Probably committed fraud. Yeah, most people do. They go to one of those tax sites.
Dog, I'm agreeing. I said most people do that. I have heard of other people doing that. Yes. But this is, I think it goes back to, like, I think it's a cultural thing. Like, my dad sat my ass down, and he was like, no, you're going to learn how to do this yourself.
Change your own oil? I bet you change your own oil, don't you?
Of course I do. Ask me what else I can change. Yeah. Ask me. I love this question.
A diaper?
No, everything else. Of course you would say that. Why would you say that? Why would you say that?
Your own?
Dog. I'm not. There is someone on this show. I'm not going to name names. There's someone on this show.
Stop. Stop. Right there.
You did this to yourself.
Right there. Laura, do you do your taxes yourself?
I don't. I mean, no, I do.
Oh.
Unfortunately. And I do.
I've done it.
I may or may not do
one
fraud.
year. Oh, okay. There it is. There it is. Now we know. See, that's why I have someone else help me, because if I don't, I'm going to do fraud.
We're poor. I'm trying to gather as much pennies as I can,
I
Drake.
was like, Drake, I can't emphasize this enough. We cannot afford to hire someone. Somebody was like, oh, my friend has a good rate. It's only $200. I was like, $200.
That's what like a TurboTax for H&R Block is, though.
No,
and
it's
that's
not.
$200 you're paying to not get arrested.
Free Tax USA. For free.
TurboTax, I can get it for I got it, I think $40 with my Costco membership.
Free Tax USA.
Really? Oh, with your Costco membership. Well, that's a different story. You have an insider trading there. You have a Costco membership.
Do you want to know
which
how I got
is also expensive.
Do you want to know how I got it? Yeah, ask me. Somebody gifted it to me for Christmas.
I'm using my ex-girlfriend's Costco membership from 3 years ago. I cut corners, man. I cut corners.
I used to do that.
Yeah. I don't think she's taken me off of that yet.
Yeah, no.
Maybe that's
I
what
got found out. I got found out.
No, Laura.
Yeah, I got found out.
I'm still.
I went to go
So in the
swipe,
end,
and it declined.
have we decided that I saved up enough money to buy a modest boat? Have we decided that I'm allowed that?
I say you should save the money and put it into your savings account, maybe a high yield savings account. I think you should.
It's already
save
in
it.
the savings
account.
account.
Yeah, so you should.
with a high
I think you should keep it there. I genuinely
would like
think
to
you
do
should.
that, but I would also like a boat.
And I would
live
like,
on the ocean. I want to go on the
$1
ocean.
million. Yeah, I'd like more money, but I think you should save it.
Okay. Yeah, I had a little mental reboot there. I was okay. Thank you for wishing for $1 million. I also would like $1 million. One day, the day will come. You know what I learned out of this conversation? Nothing.
I told you to save it. Don't get a boat. Don't get a boat right now. It's great to have friends with boats. That's the whole thing. Have a friend with the pool. Have a friend with the boat.
I don't have a friend with a boat. That's the only problem.
Get friends.
I need more friends. I need more boat friends. Maybe I'll go in on the boat with a friend. Oh, that's a good idea. Addie Bates produces. Laura Jimenez runs the board today. When we return, it is our Idiot of the Day. Pollen season is here, but a dirty car doesn't have to be. Wash it away with Tidal Wave Auto Spa. For a quick wash and that clean car happy feeling at TidalWaveAutoSpa.com. TidalWaveAutoSpa.com. This is the Drake Toll Show.
This is Westwood One Sports.
Stop what you're doing, cause I'm about to ruin the image and the style that you're used to. I look funny, but yo, I'm making money, see? So yo, world, I hope you're ready for me. Now gather round. I'm the new fool in town, and my sound's laid down by the underground. I drink a bottle of Hennessy you got on your shelf, so just let me introduce myself. My name is Humpty, pronounced with the umpty. Yo, ladies, oh, how I like to funk thee. And all the rappers in the top 10, please allow me to bump thee. I'm stepping tall, y'all, and just like Humpty Dumpty, you're gonna fall when the stereos pump me. I like to rhyme, I like my beats funky, I'm spunky. I like my oatmeal lumpy, I'm sick with this. Straight gangster Mac. But sometimes I get ridiculous. I'll eat up all your crackers and your licorice. Oh, yo, fat girl, come here. Are you ticklish? Yeah, I called you fat. Look at me, I'm skinny. It never stopped me from getting busy. I'm a freak. I like the girls with the boom. I once got busy in a Burger King bathroom. I'm crazy. Allow me to amaze thee. They say I'm ugly, but it just don't faze me. I'm still getting in the girls' pants, and I even got my own dance. The Humpty Dance is your chance to do the hump. Come on. Do the Humpty Hump. Come on, do the Humpty Hump. Check it out, y'all. Do the Humpty Hump. Just watch me do the Humpty Hump. Yeah. Do you know what I'm doing? Doing the Humpty Hump. Come on. Do the Humpty Hump. Do the Humpty Hump. People say, yo, Humpty, you're really funny looking. That's alright, cause I get things cooking. You stare, you glare, you constantly try to compare me, but you can't get near me. I'm giving more C, and on the floor B, all the girls, they adore me. Oh yes, ladies, I'm really being sincere, cause in the 69, my Humpty nose will tickle your rear. My nose is big. I'm not ashamed, big like a pickle. I'm still getting paid. I get laid by the ladies, you know I'm in charge. Both how I'm living and my nose is large. I get stupid. I shoot an arrow like Cupid. I use a word that don't mean nothing, like Luke did. I sang on Do What You Like, and if you missed it, I'm the one who said just grab them in the biscuits. Also told you that I like to bite. Well, yeah, I guess it's obvious I also like to write. All you had to do was give Humpty a chance, and now I'm gonna do my dance. The Humpty Dance is your chance to do break, y'all. Let me know that bass groove right here. Yeah. Now that I told y'all a little bit about myself, let me tell you a little bit about this dance. It's real easy to do. Check it out. First I limped to the side like my leg was broken. Shaking and twitching, kinda like I was smoking. Crazy, whack, funky. People say you look like MC Hammer on crack, Humpty. That's alright, cause my body's in motion. It's supposed to look like a fit or a convulsion. Anyone can play this game. This is my dance, y'all. Humpty Hump's my name. No two people will do it the same. You got it down when you appear to be in pain. Humping, funkin', jumping, dig around, shaking your rump. And when the doodle chump punk points a finger like a stunt, tell him step off. I'm doing the hump. The Humpty dance, here's your chance to do the hump. Everybody, I do the Humpty Hump. Come on, I do the Humpty Hump. Sexy lady, I do the Humpty Hump. I'm doing the Humpty Hump. We're doing the Humpty Hump, y'all. Watch me do the Humpty Hump. I do the Humpty Hump. Black people, I do the Humpty Hump. I do the Humpty Hump. Come on, white people, I do the Humpty Hump. I do the Humpty Hump. Puerto Ricans, I do the Humpty Hump. Just keep on doing the hump. Samoans, do the Humpty Hump. Do the Humpty Hump. Yeah. Let's get stupid. I do the Humpty Hump. I do the Humpty Hump. Everybody do the Humpty Hump. Do the Humpty Hump. Give me the middle leg. Come on and do the Humpty Hump. Give me the middle leg. I'm gonna know when doing the Humpty Hump. Yeah. Gonna break it down. Yeah, sexy lady. Once again, the underground is in the house. I'd like to send a shout out to the whole world. Keep on doing the Humpty dance. And to all
she's mighty, just letting it all hang out. She's a brick house. I like Lady Stack, that's a fact. Ain't holding nothing back. She's a brick.
It is the Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports. The Westwood One Sports app. She's a brick house.
Who you calling a brick house?
That's the name of the boat. The Brick House.
Is that what you're really naming your boat?
That's the name of the boat. The Brick House.
With you and
It's
your
a
6
tiny
male
little thing.
friends?
Oh.
It's more of like a dinghy.
Oh.
No, 5 male friends. It's 6 people total.
And the brick house. Just y'all hanging out in the brick house.
The Baylor provost, when I was in school there, was Nancy Brickhouse. And so anytime that she was introduced, people would say, please welcome, she's a Nancy Brickhouse. It's pretty good. It's a good bit. It's a really good bit.
Canceled.
Nancy Brickhouse, Baylor provost.
Canceled.
What? What's the
know,
problem with this
guys.
song? What's going on? Laura, I thought you would like this song.
I know,
You
I
don't
like
Commodores?
the song.
Okay,
I
great.
don't know about the rest of the part.
She's the one, the only one, built like an Amazon.
The angst is palpable.
The
angst
two
was
women on the
palpable
show.
last night. And the Atlanta Braves, Los Angeles Angels, the Anaheim Angels game in Anaheim. Brawl, awesome. 7-2 final, by the way. Braves on top of the Angels. The Angels didn't score after the first inning. 2-run home run in the first, and then just went away. 7-2 Braves win it. Last night in Major League Baseball, the Giants, finally, Tony Vitello, come on. 6-0. They blanked the Phillies, who are 6-5 now. The Rockies on top of the Astros bring the Rockies to 5-6. Didn't see that coming, did you? Didn't see that coming. Yankees are 8-2. Dodgers are 9-2. Cardinals have a winning record. And the Red Sox Hello win column. 3-2 over the Brewers, who sit at 8-3. Pirates, by the way. Paul Skeens shoved again. Everybody out there, oh no, Paul Skeens, so bad. What if he falls? What if this just isn't his year? His ERA is back down from 67 to 5.25, which is much more manageable. And he's now 2-1 on the year and had 2 solid outings in a row. He went 6 1/3 of 2 hit work, 1 earned run. Previously, last Wednesday at Cincinnati, he went 5 innings flat, 3 hit work, 1 earned run. So he's back, baby. Yeah, that's my Paul Skeens that I was promised. All of that following his 5 earned runs he gave up in 2/3 of an inning pitched against the Mets on opening day. Gross. Yikes. Thank you, O'Neal Cruz. Elsewhere today, NHL, I mentioned the NHL and NBA playoffs. The NHL, we're almost there. Couple games left to go, and the Tampa Bay Lightning. The Buffalo Sabres. Ooh, the Montreal Canadiens. All at 102 points apiece in the Atlantic. The Carolina Hurricanes ran away with the Metropolitan in the Western Conference. The Central belongs to the Colorado Avalanche, but I still think the Dallas Stars, Minnesota Wild, the Wild are in there. I still think the Dallas Stars could give the Avs a run for their money come this postseason. The Oilers, the Knights, the Ducks, all kind of this squabble of mediocrity in the Pacific and the NHL as we get closer to the postseason. And the NBA. You know, I told you probably 3 weeks ago you needed to start paying attention because the Thunder could not collapse, but the Thunder could lose the 1 seed to the Spurs, and it wouldn't be that shocking given the schedule the Thunder were up against. But it's 63-16 with 3 games to go. The Spurs 3 games back. It would take a miracle, a Herculean miracle for Oklahoma City to lose the West. They would have to go on a 3-game losing streak. The Spurs a 3-game winning streak. And for OKC, they'll play at Los Angeles, play the Clippers on the road tonight, and then wrap up at Denver and at home against Phoenix. I don't foresee them going 0-3 in those 3 contests. But the Spurs, come postseason time, who've had the number of the Oklahoma City Thunder, those San Antonio Spurs, could very well win the NBA championship. Oh, and by the way, as it pertains to the Spurs, they play the Blazers, who have been better. The Mavericks and the Denver Nuggets, the next 3 games in the next 4 days, and each of those very winnable. I expect them to go 3-0, but I can't imagine the Thunder go 0-3. The West belongs to OKC, San Antonio in tow right behind them, and then 12 games behind OKC, the Denver Nuggets, the Lakers, the Rockets are all in that squabble for 3, 4, and 5, and that one could end up in a myriad of ways, and we'll see who has home court advantage in the first round. Is it the Lakers, the Rockets? The Nuggets could fall to the 5 spot. You don't want to do that. Then in the East, it's the Pistons. See, a very similar scenario here. The Celtics are 3 games back. If the Pistons go 0-3, Celtics go 3-0. That's where you have an opportunity. Nope, it's Pistons. They've got the East. That is, and they've clinched the Eastern Conference based on tiebreakers too now. So they've got. They are the regular season winners. Cade Cunningham, his status going into the postseason is a major piece of how Detroit looks. Boston, the Knicks, those 2 teams in tow behind them. The Cavs, too, have an opportunity out in the East to make the NBA Finals if Cade Cunningham cannot come back in full strength and Detroit has to operate without him. Now, Detroit's still good without him, but Boston, New York, come on. I've seen Boston win in the postseason. I've seen the Knicks play at a high level at times this year. I've seen the Knicks get it done. And the Knicks-Celtics play tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. Pretty big game for a Knicks team that's trying to overcome the Celtics. They're 3 games back at that 2 spot in the East, and the Celtics all but have it on lock. Charlotte Hornets, 9th in the East, by the way. Come on. What about those Hornets? Put them in the play-in. Come on. They've got an opportunity to make some noise. One of the hottest teams in the NBA since the All-Star break. All right, let's do it. Idiot of the day.
Idiot of the day.
Good morning. Drake Tulsha, Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Idiot of the day, Doc Rivers. here is ESPN from Shams. Pretty good stuff about Doc Rivers and his Milwaukee Bucks vernacular that's just not exactly hitting.
On March 1, they lost in Chicago, a double-digit lead. It ended up being a blowout defeat. Then comes March 2. It was a game of a back-to-back against the Boston Celtics. Doc Rivers called for a team meeting that day. And the day of the game, this team meeting, my understanding is in that meeting, Doc Rivers implored his team, according to 6 people in the room, to look at my resume and, quote, Google me. I took teams to the playoffs and championship that weren't supposed to be there. I thought this was one of them. That was not well received internally. And that was just another example of the disconnect between player and coach. I'll give you another example.
Wait a second. Danny's laughing. I want to hear this.
It wasn't taken well? No. Wow. I couldn't believe that wasn't taken.
Have you ever had a coach say that? Look at my resume,
coaches say some things. And I was coached by Doc. I wouldn't say a lot surprised. Doc was very good at talking to the group.
That's not good.
Google me.
NBA coach who's losing games says, Google me. Look at my resume. You know, I've done this before. And yes, Curt Cignetti at Indiana, he can say Google me in his opening press conference because he just wins. Doc Rivers, instead, if you Google him, has blown a 3-1 lead in a best-of-7 NBA playoff series 3 times and is the only head coach in NBA history to blow a 3-1 lead with 3 different franchises. Oof. Some of these include 2003, that first-round Orlando Magic Detroit Pistons, and most recently Clippers and Nuggets in 2020. Uh-oh. Oh, by the way, not the only time. Led the Celtics 3-2 in 2023. Led the Hawks 2-1. The Nuggets 3-1 in that 2020 series. Up 2-0 in the Blazers, 2-1 in the Jazz, 3-1 in the Rockets. Doc Rivers has made a career out of being ahead in the postseason. In 2009, 2010, 2012, he led series in the postseason 3-2 in each of those years and lost all 3 of those series. No one is better at having a lead in the playoffs and losing the series than Doc Rivers. At least that's what I'm, Googling. Doc Rivers, 32 losses in potential series-clinching playoff games. That's the most in NBA history. Oh, and the largest blown leads, some of the largest blown leads all time in the postseason have come from Doc Rivers. Go back to 2020, Clippers blew a 19-point lead. 2020, that same postseason, a 21-point lead. 2021, the Sixers, Doc Rivers and company blew a 26-point lead. He's been known for blowing leads, both in games and in series. But Doc Rivers, man, oh yeah. He walk in that locker room, tell the Milwaukee about Google me, players. You guys don't want to play. You guys are ungrateful. Google me.
Google me.
Idiot of the day. Oof. Whoever designed this weed eater, Addie, it seems as though you've got a pretty big qualm with this weed eater.
It's probably the funniest thing to have beef with. So for those, I'm going to paint a picture. So you know how a normal weed eater, it's plastic at the end. It's plastic. That's what cuts them. And if it hits you, it'll cut you as well. Doesn't just because it's plastic doesn't mean it won't hurt. But somebody decided to reinvent the weed eater, and instead of plastic, it's metal. And somebody on Twitter added community contact, said, "Do not buy this product. Do not come. This product is dangerous and can lead to serious bodily injury, including being blinded by shrapnel. Weed whacker cord is plastic for a reason." So imagine you're sitting there just, trimming some weeds, and then you're blind. You're actually blind. Idiots.
Great. It's a great comment. This is going to kill somebody. I mean, yeah, the plastic will tear you up. That's no joke. The plastic will get you. But if you have a metal weed eater and that thing goes through your shin, you're done. You're done. Yeah, absolutely. There's no stopping that. That's going through all of it. Idiot of the day, the Rockies? Question mark? Maybe? What do you got on this one, Addie?
So, anybody who's ever been to a baseball game, you have the big screen, all this kind of stuff. Just, double check what you're typing, okay? Just double check. So the Rockies had some game notes. They had Tomoyuki Sagano, and it says on the big screen, here it goes, making his start as a Rocky and his first career start at Coors Field. He is the Japanese-born player in Rockies history. So he's one of the Japanese players of all time. He's one of them.
He is the Japanese player in Rockies history. I love it. I think it's a great community note. Hey, by the way, in case you're wondering about Sugano, he is the Rockies Japanese-born player in history. That's great.
Love him.
Ichiro is the
Mariners
Japanese-born Mariner, in history. Like I mean, if you told me that, like, you know what, you're right. He is. That is correct. You have succeeded. Final idiot of the day. Mike Vrabel, Dianna Russini. Addie, I gave a pretty good monologue to start the show, pretty lengthy monologue to start the show on this, and would love your thoughts before I give that monologue again to end the show here in about 20 minutes on this Vrabel-Russini situation.
So I'm going to preface it by saying, let's say this is true. Let's say everything, it looks a little suspicious. Let's say it's true. As a woman in the industry, this is not good because there's already allegations, like, the stereotypical female reporter, this is how they get their information. Like, people say that kind of stuff all the time. Oh, okay, so the top, NFL, insider, let's say this is true. Great. You're making us all look bad now. Thank you so much for that. And then on top of it, what I find very funny is how Vrabel last week was, trying to preach, values, family values to Jaden Ivey and teammates, and correct me if I'm wrong, that cheating on your wife, if you have allegedly done this, that is not family values. Right? Maybe I'm crazy. And then people oh, they were with other people. Okay, yeah, that's great. Whenever I go to different places in New Orleans and go see coworkers, I don't hold their hands.
Yeah, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't hold both their hands and hug them and sit in the hot tub with them. And I don't, in any of these pictures, I don't see anyone else. I don't see the others that I've been promised that Dianna Russini said that I would see. No, I just see her and Mike Vrabel holding hands. Laughable.
It's this. They're interlocking.
Yeah, out of context. Laughable. We would never do that, despite what the pictures are very clearly showing you. We would never. Mike Vrabel, Dianna Russini. A scandal. Sedona Gate, as they're calling it. Uh-oh. Spicy Sedona. Steamy Sedona. Come on now. Look, if there's one thing that we have to get to today we haven't gotten to yet, it's football. We talked a little Fernando Mendoza. We talked a little bit about the Giants kerfuffle and John Harbaugh trying to fit in over there. But what have we not hit on yet? What have we not gotten to? The president just signed an executive order, or at least proposed one, that he may sign in the middle of this ceasefire that would change the complete and utter landscape of college athletics. What is Trump trying to do? And is it the right move to save college sports? Spencer McLaughlin, Locked On College Football, and the voice of the Southern Utah Thunderbirds, joins the show when we come back. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. This is the Drake Toll Show.
At Augusta,
Go on trial just for laughing at the joke, just for saying of the bargain what any sales girl already knows. Most of us old men die at the firing line, just waiting for our number to be called. I guess time just makes fools of us all. Now the king gets his stepson when he's loaded as a gun. Says a real man is like a country. You need a map to find your one. Now I do you suppose you must approach the throne with its back up against the wall. I guess time just makes fools
a song. British minds of my generation gladly conscripted in the war of defending any Goliath that would deign darken the door. Now with your genius for picking battles, it's no wonder every helmet is too small. I guess time just makes fools of us all. I guess time just makes fools of us all. My drink is watered down. The champ is on his knees. He lost the rematch. He lost the comeback. He lost for charity, but that's the job. It's what gets the asses in the hall. They came for a beating, and he came to brawl. Notice that of all the young gods I have known, yours is easily the least famous to turn down the cover of a Rolling Stone. Lily white faces, so familiar and yet impossible to recall. I guess time just makes fools of us all. After a millennia of good times, God said, hey now, let's have a dream where we raise the stakes a little. Come on, let's make things interesting. Parachute into the Anthropocene, an amnesiac, a himbo can doll. I guess time does make fools of us all.
It is the Drake Toll Show, Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Good morning. 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern Time every single day. And today at 8:21 and 43 seconds on the East Coast, something is afoot in the White House. And yes, the middle of a war and a ceasefire. And yes, the government shut down or kind of shut down for a bit and the TSA thing happened. But somewhere in the middle of all of this, Nick Saban and Condoleezza Rice met with the president and said, Mr. President, there needs to be change in college athletics. And it sounds as though the president is going to oblige, that Donald Trump will sign an executive order that is going to, quote, save college sports. It's the urgent national action to save college sports. Executive order, April 3rd, 2026. And this one could change college football, college athletics forever. Spencer McLaughlin, Locked On College Football, joins the Drake Toll Show at @SMcLaughlinCFB on Twitter. Spencer, how monumental is this move, or are we making much ado about nothing as it pertains to the president's move toward college athletics?
I think somewhere in between those two characterizations, because the potential impact of the executive order is very real. The material impact is still TBD. So it's not a symbolic gesture as much as some might make it out to be. It definitely can have real impacts, whether you're talking about only one free transfer as an undergrad until you have to sit out for a year, the way it used to be back in the olden days, or whether you're talking about 5 years of eligibility and capping it there so you don't have 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th years as a 9th year college football player at Montana this year. So I think that those are really big issues to try and tackle. And, like a lot of executive orders, regardless of what they pertain to, there is somewhat of a symbolic nature. It's, hey, I want this federal agency, or I want this entity to go out and make something happen, but does it actually have the weight behind it? Because the expectation when this executive order was issued was, okay, this is going to get challenged in court because the NCAA doesn't have an antitrust exemption. And so is any of this actually enforceable by law? Well, probably not. But hey, I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a judge, so I'm not entirely certain on that front, but that seems to be the expectation, and it's kind of how these things have gone before. So, yeah, I think it's trying to get at some very real issues. It's not just, a symbolic roundtable where it's, hey, let's get the ball rolling. I think it kind of serves a dual purpose to show the seriousness with which the White House and potentially Congress as well are taking this matter, and that they do indeed want to make something happen. But if it's not a bill that comes from Congress, I don't know that we should get over our skis about whether it's going to have a serious impact on college sports.
Yeah. So maybe that's the better question out of the whole thing is less how will we feel this and will it be a big deal or something that's small potatoes in the end, and more so with the executive order coming down of cancel out the unlimited transfer, no more free-for-all, 5-year ceiling, crack down on collectives, the nuclear options that can be put in here for these $20 million revenue share. There's so many intricate pieces of this. But, Spencer, maybe the best question of all of it, who's supposed to enforce it? The president put it into the ether and said, go, do this. But which arm of the law is supposed to make sure these things are even enforced?
Yeah, that's the big question with this particular action. I think the idea is that the NCAA can do it, but I don't know if the NCAA has that particular governing authority. It seems like they're trying to get it back. And look, I know the NCAA is a really easy boogeyman, a really easy thing to just knock on and drag down and, oh, they're terrible and they're awful. And that's because they've made some really bad decisions and sent out some really bad messages over the years in the process of let's get rid of the NCAA, and the NCAA is awful. It has migrated towards what we have now, which is the Wild West with almost no rules on any of this sort of stuff. And I'll tell you, I do get annoyed when I see folks making the argument constantly, and it seems to happen a lot, especially in some online circles, that anytime someone is discussing the idea of limiting player mobility or freedom, that you're just, oh my gosh, you want to go back to 1995. It's just all about the coaches and the institutions and the power. You hate the players, and why should the players be able to do all this sort of stuff? it drives me insane to see that because, as is often the case, the answer is not to go back to 1995 with regards to the power dynamics in college sports. The answer is also not to keep it where it currently is. There is no other sports league in the world in which every player is a free agent at the end of every single year. And you're not a shill for colleges and coaches if you point that out, because it is ridiculous. And it is putting a ridiculous burden on schools, coaches, and yes, fans to try and keep up with all this stuff when a player can leave every single year. That's not how it works in the NFL. That's not how it works. When you get drafted into any professional sports league, well, this is professional sports. It's not college sports. Okay, let's look at it as college or as professional sports and not college. In every single professional league, you are drafted by an organization. You don't get to pick where you go right out of the gate. You have to wait to be a free agent in order to do that. You are drafted by that organization or team, and then you are required to stay there for the duration of your rookie contract. And you can be traded. None of these things happen in college sports right now. So I think that the pendulum needed to swing away from the coaches and colleges, but it has swung too far in the other direction.
Spencer McLaughlin, Locked On College Football, joining the Drake Toll Show, Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. And so a piece of that, the destruction of college athletics as we know it, this wide open free market where you can go and shop whatever job you want to at the end of the year and go to whatever school you want to that gives you the most money. It feels, I mean, look, it's not going to kill Ohio State. It's not going to kill LSU. They're going to be fine. But the smaller schools, and when I say smaller schools, I mean Wake Forest. I mean Syracuse, not just the schools that are further down the list of Division I, but those that are in power conferences that cannot keep up financially. Iowa State's another example, cannot keep up financially with Ohio State. They're falling by the wayside. For you, I mean, known in your job as the voice of Southern Utah athletics, I mean, what does this do to Southern Utah? What does the Wild West nature of college athletics do to schools like that?
Well, I think for the smaller schools, and this can apply to really any sport, but it's certainly prominent in football and basketball. If you are at a lower level and, FCS, Group of Six, heck, maybe even Division II to an extent, but if you have a good team, you can bank on the fact that your best players are not coming back the following year.
Yeah.
I mean that's what the introduction of the transfer portal money market has really done, because the idea behind pure actual NIL is not something anyone can really argue with. If a company wants to come and have an athlete, like I think was it Quinn Ewers that was on those Dr. Pepper Fansville commercials? I think it was. That's what traditional NIL is, and that is not something I think literally anyone, even the most old school college football fans, are against. What people were against was, hey, you're just going to go out and pay players and there's no regulation or structure or something I've seen get discussed a lot that I think is a good idea. There's no transfer fee. That's something that European soccer has, and I think could do wonders for the smaller schools to be able to compete financially and roster-wise as much as they can, because, they find these diamonds in the rough, develop them, their production goes crazy, and then they get, one season out of those guys because they just wind up hitting the portal and going to a bigger school. So I think that's been the impact is, in football and men's basketball, you have a great year, boy, good luck trying to keep even a majority or anywhere close to a majority of your best players around, because bigger schools are going to come calling on that front. So, the suggestion that I talked about on my show earlier this week of pooling media rights. And this really would just apply to the Power Four. It's no surprise the Big Ten and SEC oppose that. And again, from a legal standpoint, is there an argument? I don't know. It seems dubious at best. But again, it seems crazy because it's different than what we're used to in college sports. But everybody gets the same share from the NFL media rights deal, and the Cowboys generate a lot more money for that than the Arizona Cardinals or the Jacksonville Jaguars. And the NFL is the most successful sports league in the country, maybe in the world. So, I think these changes are very reasonable to discuss and want to change, but the question just keeps coming back to what is legally enforceable in the eyes of a judge.
It's not all that dissimilar from where you sit with Major League Baseball. The NFL is the best professional sports league there is. Major League Baseball is trying to figure it out themselves. How without a true penalty for an unlimited salary cap to balance out the Miami Marlins and the LA Dodgers, to balance out the Mariners, who are paying some guy with a big ass to be bad at baseball. I don't know. It's just a moot point based on a team that lost to the Texas Rangers.
Now, the big dumper will be just fine. He is just in a little bit of a good old-fashioned slump, and his May is going to be awesome. And in the meantime, I'm trying to forget that baseball counts right now.
He's Spencer McLaughlin, a big Mariners fan, locked on college football. Spencer, right before we get you out of here, quickly, am I crazy for saying Matt Fitzpatrick is the Masters winner in 2026?
Well, I think trying to pick an outright winner for a golf tournament is always a dicey proposition at best. It reminds me very much of trying to pick a Heisman winner before the year, which a friend of mine tried to sell me on a couple of years ago, and I said, no, it's just a sucker's bet. And yeah, it was a sucker's bet because so much changes between when it starts and when that entire process comes to a close. But with regards to Fitzpatrick, personally, no, I don't think you're nuts for keeping an eye on the Englishman there. Very quietly, he's been playing some fantastic golf, has struck the ball incredibly well, has got the major championship pedigree. He's chasing his second. He won the U.S. Open back at the Country Club in Boston in 2022. And, what that does is takes the pressure off a little. Obviously, you're chasing your first green jacket, and the history of Augusta is incomparable to any other major. I think only the Open Championship comes close, and I don't think it's one-to-one comparable at all. But it takes that, little edge off of, I don't have one of these yet. And, the Rory McIlroy documentary was really enlightening, and he gives a lot of great answers for golfers of all abilities, honestly, about how he deals with stuff and has dealt with stuff mentally, and, the thoughts that go through your mind, what you're trying to block out. And it's different when you're chasing your first major of that type, but I think that it's still a little bit of an edge to know, okay, he's got the ability to go out and over the course of 4 days be the best player in the world. So I'd keep an eye on Matt Fitzpatrick. I'd keep an eye on Minwoo Lee. I don't know if Minwoo's got major championship stuff. He's been playing exceptionally well, and then you can never go wrong with the heavy hitters, the Scotty Schefflers, the Roy McIlroys, John Rahms of the world. And, we'll see if Rahm could really recaptures 2023 green jacket for him. But yeah, if Scotty Scheffler shoots anything in red figures on Thursday, the rest of the world might be toast.
Spencer McLaughlin, thanks so much for your time.
Of course. Good to talk to you, Drake.
Wow, up early. The voice of the SUU Thunderbirds talking Donald Trump's executive order to save college football, college athletics, and whether or not it'll work. The nugget he touched on that we can get to later in the week, pooling the media rights for major conferences. That's an idea. That's an idea that could save college sports, because right now the SEC and the Big Ten just want more from Fox and ESPN, and that's burying college athletics. It's all about money. God, no, money. John Goodman, oh brother, where art thou? Big Dan Teague, for those pressed with time. Big Dan to court. Coming up, Mike Vrabel and Dianna Russini sharing secrets about the National Football League, getting close to their sources, making sure you court the electorate. Also in a Brother Art Thou quote. Wow, come on. That's coming up next. What's going on with Vrabel and Russini? It's the Drake Toll Show.
Michigan.
Walk away. 'Cause
Laura, is that you?
What?
All right. Laura's last day on the Drake Toll Show for a couple weeks. Wanted to send a message. Say goodbye. Thank you, Laura. Very sweet of you. It is the Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Big stretch. Pelicans 156, Jazz 137. Shake hands, boys. Hey, we're both tanking. Let's see how many points we can score. Awesome. I love that game. I love it. Let's score 300 points combined. It was great. The NBA was awesome last night. The NHL was specifically electric again. Once every 4 or 5 days, we get one of those NHL nights where I get like, ooh, little chill bumps. Like, yeah, here we go, boys. Canadians over the Panthers 4-3 in a shootout. Come on. Senators blow out the Lightning. It was 1-1 going into the third period. Sens scored 5. 6-2 final score. Blue Jackets, shootout. Beat the Red Wings 4-3. Flyers over the Devils 5-1 on the road. Bruins dropped to the Hurricanes 6-5 in OT. Oh, unless you forget, Stars 4, Flames 3 in overtime. My Dallas Stars in another overtime. The Utah Mammoth 6, Houston Oilers 5. Houston Oilers? Wow.
Oh my
Edmonton
gosh.
Oilers 5. That was awesome. I don't recognize Canada, okay? I specifically don't recognize Canada.
Wow, you know we have
Edmonton,
many Canadians in our chat, right?
They call Edmonton the Houston of Canada. You didn't know that?
I'm so glad that Warren Moon played for the Edmonton Oilers.
Warren Moon played hockey. So glad that Warren Moon played hockey.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Speaking of playing, Mike Vrabel, Dianna Russini were hanging out yesterday. Two friends doing what friends do. What I love to do with my friends who are female, specifically female, usually not male, almost always female actually, is I will go with them to Sedona, Arizona, which is I've been there multiple times. Love Sedona every time that I go with my female friends. I will sit by the pool with them. I will get in the pool with them, shirtless, as long as they're in a swimsuit. And then I will get in the hot tub with them, just me and my friend in the hot tub. And then I'll get out of the hot tub, and I'll make sure to take my left hand and hold their right hand. My right hand hold their left hand. So my fingers are grasping their fingers, clasped with them. We're holding both hands. And then after we talk into each other's eyes, we hug. I want to be very clear, just friends. I do this with just my friends. I would never do this with a romantic partner or someone that I was seeing. This is only for my friends. At least that's what Mike Vrabel wants you to think. That's what Mike Vrabel told me, actually. The Ambient Resort, Sedona, Arizona, the Sedona scandal, Sedona Gate. Dianna Russini, intimate-looking interactions, luxury resort, Arizona with Mike Vrabel. Now the internet has gone haywire, nuts over this. They're holding hands, they're hugging, they're in the hot tub together. And they both say, unequivocally, we're not doing anything nefarious. Stop saying we're doing nefarious things. We're not. It's laughable that you would think that we'd have affairs on our spouses. Dianna Russini has gone public saying that her mother asked if her husband had a girlfriend because he seemed so happy. Uh-oh. And Vrabel, who's 50 years old and has a kid who's 24, a kid who's 25, has been married since 1999. I mean, I don't know. I got questions here, Mike. I got questions, Dianna. Witnesses saw them holding hands, hugging, sharing breakfast, even dancing on a private rooftop bungalow. Russini would go on to say that, I was there with a group of 6 people, okay? Vrabel saying it was laughable and innocent. Woke last night to the sound of thunder. How far off I sat and wondered. Start humming a song from 1962. Ain't it funny how the night moves? Innocent, right? Come on. Points all our own, sitting way up high. Way up firm and high. That song, by the way, if you just listen to the lyrics of Bob Seger's Night Moves, it is very steamy. It reminds me of what I do with my female friends in Sedona, Arizona.
It came in so fast and so hard.
Yeah. Mike Vrabel and Dianna Russini. Why is this a story? People are wondering. The streets want to know. Like Cozy Bryant tweets, hey, so Vrabel, Russini, if this is happening, I mean, was she getting information that she can feed to Vrabel? Did they lower a price for A.J. Brown because of this connection? Like, is Russini hearing things about the Eagles and feeding them to Vrabel? Is she getting sourcing from the 49ers and feeding them to Mike Vrabel? Hey, Mike, guess what I heard? Guess what I heard from the Seahawks camp? I mean, come on. I've been in relationships. You tell that person, you talk about work. How was work today? Oh, you'll never believe what I found out about Mike McDonald. And who's she coming home in Sedona, Arizona to talk to? Who's she gossiping to? Another NFL head coach? I don't want that to be my reporter. I don't want to be the source for that reporter. I don't want to be like and Addie, you mentioned this earlier. It's a mar, it's a black spot, it's a weird look, a bad look on women in sports that are trying to already stake a stupid, silly stigma that is stupid and silly. This does not help.
No, it's bad. This is terrible. Like, everything we're like, no, we don't do that for sources. We don't do this. We do everything, we took journalism, ethics, courses, all that kind of stuff, and then it's like, oh, wait, except she might actually do that. Actually, one of the top NFL reporters, I guess she might actually do that. It's such a bad look. Honestly, I think the other part, again, is Vrabel. This isn't family values.
Not family values. He had the whole thing this week where he talks about family values and all the, we support our players and they want to. Someone commented on the Drake Toll show and said, this dude just scolded his running back for all this Ivy stuff and now could be in a nefarious position. Like, do we trust that? It is one of the biggest stories of the day today and something you should carry with you when you walk in the office and your friends say, what did you hear on the Drake Toll show today? You'd be like, well, Dianna Russini and Mike Vrabel might be having a relationship. Like, what the hell? What's a polar bear doing in Arlington, Texas? That's one of the best memes to fit this situation. What is a polar bear doing in Arlington, Texas? It's a great meme to look up because that's how random, that's how odd this story is between Russini and Mike Vrabel, and we'll see where it leads. Laughable, innocent. Woke last night to the sound of thunder. Yes. I only do it with my female platonic friends in Sedona, Arizona, because we're platonic like that. Jeez, Addie, it's Wednesday. Who am I?
Yeah, let's play a game. Laura, cue up the Pigeons on Holiday.
Pigeons on Holiday?
The what?
The Wednesday music for this game.
Do you think that's what happened?
Say that one more time.
Pigeons on Holiday, or you can play any song you'd like in the background.
Pigeons on Holiday. Do you think that's what happened with Randy Johnson? Like that pigeon was with his pigeon son, and it decided I'm gonna go watch. I'm on vacation. I'm gonna go watch my favorite pitcher, Randy Johnson. Yeah, he's like, wow, I'm struggling to see from so far away. I need to get closer, and then Pigeon on Holiday, no more.
You said any song. Here you go.
She did. She said any song. I'm happy.
Hey. Courtesy of Curtis.
Oh, I know. I can already hear. Is it bad I can hear the Curtis voice? Okay, so here's the game, Laura. I'm going to describe a person.
Did someone say courtesy? Okay, all right.
Oh! I'm going to describe a person. You have to guess who it is, okay? So this person.
Really tough game, Laura. Buckle up.
This is the founder of Buddhism, whose birthday is commonly celebrated today, April 8th or May 26th, and born in modern-day Nepal.
Laura?
I don't know. It's too early
I'm gonna go with Buddha.
Yes, good answer.
Good answer. Founder of Buddhism.
The Buddha.
Laura, let me do you one better. Founder of Christianity. Come on, Laura.
Jesus.
Christ, it's good. It's in the name.
That's not his name.
Okay.
His name is just Christ.
Founder of Islam.
Here's your next one. British singer-songwriter, also born on this day. He's a guitarist, record producer, the lead singer of the 1975.
Oh my gosh, there's not. Did I meet this guy recently at a Bananas game?
No, that guy.
Laura, you're out of the game here?
Yeah, no, I'm out.
Okay, this guy's got Taylor Swift's phone number because that was the big thing. Everybody at the game was like, "That's the lead singer of the 1975." He has Taylor Swift's phone number. He was on his phone. We're like, "That's the phone that has the number." What all these little all the girls were saying.
I don't know that way.
They dated?
Maddie Healy.
Okay, Steven. Is his name Steven?
Maddie Healy.
Okay, Maddie Healy. Good to know. All right, next.
Alrighty, this is a Canadian professional ice hockey player who is the center and the captain for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Drafted in 2005.
Absolutely no idea who that man is.
First overall.
Crosby.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I had to sneak that one in there. All right, here's another one. This person is known as the Queen of Pop. She's an American singer, songwriter, actress. She was
Madonna.
in A League of Their Own. Whoa. Well, yes, correct. Wow.
Well, damn, Laura. Wow. Okay. We got time for one more. Surprisingly, time for one more. Laura. Well, wow. Jeez.
Born on this day in 1999, he is an NFL wide receiver. He is a 3-time Pro Bowl Dallas Cowboys, and he was born in Louisiana.
Dak Prescott.
Wide receiver.
Great
guess.
I
don't know.
Very close. Is it my friend C.D. Lamb?
It is C.D. Lamb.
Is he only 27? Wow, we got a lot of CD left. Hell yeah, man. That is Addie Bates. She produces the show. Laura Jimenez ran the board today. We'll get Curtis Poindexter back tomorrow, but Laura's been so good to us. We could have Laura and Curtis. Yeah! Woo! Nick Costos, You Bet, coming up. Then Black and Abdallah, followed by Jim Rome and the Jim Rome Show. Thanks to Colin Jones, Bruce Gilbert, Ryan McGuire, Armin Williams for giving me a job. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. This has been, it always will be, the Drake Toll Show.
This is Westwood One Sports.